Attitude is an established way of thinking or feeling. So it is what? It is the way how the respondent will think and how they feel about that particular problem. So attitude cannot be measured in absolute terms. So we cannot judge in absolute terms because I have told you depending upon the time also it changes. Example for dichotomous statement include the following. I am inspired to meet my goals at work. So you will have only two options, either agree or disagree. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we are in the last session, that is 11th session of the third unit, that is unit name is data collection. So already we have discussed lot of the concepts relating to this particular unit. So let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session we were discussing about scaling, right? So what are the various types of scaling techniques? So how the measurement will be made by using the scaling techniques. So that tools which is being used to measure is called as scaling techniques. So we have learnt about scaling techniques, types of scaling techniques. So there are number of types which is relating to scaling techniques. So this we have already learnt in a previous session. In today's session, I have told you I am going to discuss about a new topic, that is measurement of attitude. Now what do you mean by this? Now here in the research activity, the role of respondents plays a very important, or the role of respondent is very important. So how they are going to, or what is their thinking behavior, what is the attitude about that particular topic. So that is known as what? Measurement of attitude. So let us see. Attitude is an established way of thinking or feeling. So it is what? It is the way how the respondent will think and how they feel about that particular problem. So feeling that is reflected in the behavior of the person towards others. So how they are going to respond. So what is their thinking? What is their feeling? What is the attitude towards that particular topic? So that is known as what? Measurement of attitude. So attitude is an established way of thinking or it's a feeling that is reflected in the behavior of the respondents with others. That is known as what? Measurement of attitude. So it is a tendency to act positively or negatively. Suppose if a new brand is introduced in the market. So either the respondent have to like that product or they may not like the product. So if they like, it is a positive effect. If they don't like, it is a negative effect, right? So it should be either positive or negative towards a certain idea or object or person or a situation in the society. So some children may like ice cream, some children may not like ice cream. In the same way, some may like chocolate, some other may not like the chocolate. So here there is both positive as well as negative. So how the child is going to behave? So what is their feeling? What is their thinking about that particular product? So that is known as what? Measurement of attitude. So attitude is a tendency of an individual that influence his behavior while working, thinking, deciding and transacting with others. So how they are going to behave, how they are going to think, how they are going to react. So that is known as what? Attitude. It influences a person's choice of action while dealing with various situations. It may also depend upon the situation also. So certain times it may be a positive effect, certain times it may be a negative effect. So this is known as what? Measurement of attitude. So let us see a definition here. According to Esnack, 1972, an attitude is normally defined as a perceptual orientation. So it is a perceptual orientation which differs from one person to another and responds readiness in relation to a particular object or a class of object. So what is the reaction on a particular object, or what is the attitude, or what is the relation about that particular person's reaction to a particular object. So that is known as what? attitude. So attitude cannot be measured in absolute terms. So we cannot judge in absolute terms, because I have told you, depending upon the time also it changes. So attitude cannot be measured in absolute terms. It can be observed in terms of opinion, which can be identified from an individual's overt behavior, both verbal as well as non-verbal. Now we can't directly define the meaning of attitude or how a person reacts or how a person thinks. So it's all about by making through observation. So we can do this only through observation. By keen observation of the respondents, we'll come to know what is their attitude and behavior, what is the reaction, how do they think about a particular product. So this can be done only through observation. That is opinion which can be identified from an individual's overt behavior, both verbal as well as non-verbal. It's all depends upon the observation, how they are going to react on a particular thing. So thus individual's behavior is different to measure in absolute terms. So we can't exactly judge what is the behavior of a particular individual. So however, it can be observed by obtaining his opinion through various means, or can be obtained through speaking to him. Now normally, if we go through the observation also, we might get some data or information, but exactly what is their thinking, what is their feeling about that particular product, so this cannot be measured just through observation. What you have to do, we have to speak to him, we have to take the opinion from him. So how he is going to think or a particular product or a particular situation, so we have to speak to them and make sure that how they are feeling. So however, it cannot be observed by obtaining his opinion through. So we cannot get the opinion. Of course, we can judge the behavior as well as how he would react. So this can be done through observation. But we cannot get the exact opinion until we speak to him. So opinion can be obtained only by speaking to him or sharing his view with us. Methods of measuring attitude indirectly includes the following. Let us see what are the various measures of attitude of a particular individual. So the first one is Thurston scale. So Thurston scale is also one of the important scaling technique. So in order to judge the behavior or attitude of an individual. The Thurston scale was the first formal method of measuring attitude. Now in order to measure the attitude, Thurston scale was the first formal measuring attitude, both in psychology as well as sociology. So this is mainly used in psychology as well as sociology, and this is one of the first formal method in order to measure the attitude. The Thurston scale was developed by a psychologist, Louis Leon Thurston, during early 20th century. Now, who has developed this Thurston scale? It was developed by a psychologist named Louis Leon Thurston during early 20th century. So, this scale measures a respondent's attitude by using a series of agree-disagree statements of various weight. Now, here, if you hear the word Thurston scale, the thing you have to remember here the main key aspect what you have to remember is, here they are going to consider agree as well as disagree aspects. So, this scale measures the respondent's attitude. So, this scale is mainly made in order to know the respondent's attitude by using the series of agree-disagree statement of various weights. In the sense, so they'll give number of contents like agree, strongly agree, then disagree, strongly disagree. So for that each number will be given. In the sense, weights will be given. So that is known as what? Thurston scale. So these statements help to determine not only how our respondents feel, but how strongly they feel about the way in that direction. So we have already seen in our previous session. So I have told you, suppose the first option may be strongly agree, and the next one is agree, next disagree, strongly disagree. So like this, the options will be given in order to know the opinion of the respondent. For strongly agree, the point may be 4, that is weight. Next, agree 3, disagree 2, strongly disagree 1. So in this way, the respondents will give their opinion about a particular aspect. So here, for each and every statement, there will be a weight for it. So by measuring attitude with the Thurston scale, the researcher can gauge the sentiment. So they can gauge the sentiment or opinion of the respondent with greater accuracy. Suppose if they give only 2 options, agree and disagree. So agree means what? They are agreeing to that particular aspect. Disagree in the sense it is a negative aspect. But if you give like this, we will come to know what is the actual opinion about that particular statement or a particular problem. So that is known as what? Thurston scale. Examples of Thurston scale here. A Thurston scale survey is a series of related dichotomous statements. So it is a dichotomous statement where you will be having 2 options with one is positive, other one is negative. Here they have given only dichotomous statement. It can be either multi-dichotomous statement as we have already seen along with the weights. Example for dichotomous statement include the following. I am inspired to meet my goals at work. So you will have only 2 options, either agree or disagree. So one is positive, other one is negative option. So this is the example for Thurston scale. Next, in the same way, the next example is, I feel completely involved in working with my present office. Here also if you are happy, you will give the answer yes. If you are not happy, you will give the answer disagree. Next, I many times so involved in many office work that weeks goes by quickly. So if this sentence is true or if it is correct for that particular respondent, so he may agree, or if he is not satisfied with it, so he may tell it is disagree. So these are the few examples for Thurston scale. Now applications of Thurston scale. Why this or where the Thurston scale is being applied? So the researcher can apply the Thurston scale to a wide range of surveys. So they can use for a wide range of surveys. For example, those that measure the opinion of the respondent. So the main intention of this Thurston scale is to know the opinions of the respondent, and that to exact the opinion by giving the weight for that particular options. So the Thurston scale produces quantifiable measures. That is, in terms of numbers, the answers can be obtained, quantifiable measures of the strength of respondents' opinion of the researcher. Now here, in order to know the opinion about the respondent, here the researcher can give the quantifiable numbers, that is in terms of weights. Next is those that gauge sentiment including customer satisfaction and employee engagement. So if the researcher wants to know about customer satisfaction and employee engagement, so he can use this Thurston scale. That is how satisfied they are, whether they are strongly satisfied or not satisfied, or they are strongly dissatisfied. So like that they can give the option. In the same way, employee engagement, whether strongly agreed or agreed, disagree, strongly disagree, like that the options can be given. So researcher can access the repeated purchases made by the existing customer by applying this scale. So in order to see how the respondents or how the customers is going to use the repeated products, so in order to know their opinion, so this Thurston scale can be applied. Next, coming to the next scale, that is GUTTMAN scale. So first we have learnt about Thurston scale, where we have to remember about agree as well as disagree options. Now here it is GUTTMAN scale. So it is a very interesting scale here. The GUTTMAN scale is one of the 3 major type of unidimensional measurement scale. Now here what happens, under Thurston scale they are giving the weights, according to that we are going to select. But here what they are giving, they will give number of options, but it is unidimensional, where we are going to answer only one. So I'll come to know while I'll show you the example. So it is a unidimensional measurement scale. The other two scales include Likert scale. So we have already discussed in a previous session. So where they are giving according to the numbers. Okay, so they are termed as Likert scale. Other one is Thurston scale. So here in Likert scale it is multi-dichotomous, whereas in Thurston scale it is dichotomous in nature. Mainly they are going to give importance for agree as well as disagree. A unidimensional scale has only one dimension, so it is called as unidimensional. So uni means what? One. So it has only one dimension, so it is called as unidimensional scale. In other words, this scale can be represented by the number range like 1 to 10. So here it will be in the series of 1 to 10. By giving the test, the numerical value can be placed on a topic. So by giving the test, the numerical value, that is from 1 to 10, will be placed on the topic. The scale as yes or no answers. Now remember, in Thurston scale it is agree or disagree. Here it will be yes or no answers to a set of questions that increase in specifically. So it goes on increasing, but the answer will be yes or no answers. The idea behind this scale is that a person get to a certain point and then stop. So I'll tell you how we have to answer in GUTTMAN scale. So it is very interesting here. For example, on a 5-point questionnaire, if the person gets a question 4 and then stop, this implies that he will not agree with the questions 5. Suppose now there are number of questions like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now why it is called as unidimensional? Now there are 5 questions where the answers can be given in the form of yes or no. Correct? Now suppose if the respondent feels that 4th one is correct. Okay. So he will give it as yes, yeah. It means that the other 3 is also, or there is a positive opinion of the respondent for other 3 also. Okay, where he is not agreeing for 5th one. Okay, so this and here the questions will also be in the order itself. So if he is going to answer 4, it means that other 3 above is also agreeing, or here the respondent is agreeing for all the 3 above questions also. Suppose he is going to answer 3rd one, then all these 3 is also correct according to him, or he is going to agree on all the 3. He is not agreeing on 4 and 5. So that is known as what? GUTTMAN scale. Now for example, on a 5-point question. So this was a 5-point question. If a person gets a question 4 and then stops, so he has answered 4 and then he stops, this implies that he will not agree with the question 5. In the sense, he has agreed with all the 4 questions but is not going to agree with question 5. So that is known as what? GUTTMAN scale. So if other persons answers like that, their opinion will be recorded on the same basis. So this is how they are going to identify the scales. Advantages of GUTTMAN scale. So the first one is highly hierarchical and structured in nature. So it will be in a same format. So it will be in the same format. So it is hierarchical in nature, that is 1 by 1, and it is a structured format. The scale is hierarchical and structured in nature. Therefore, it can be productive in short surveys as well as questionnaire. So in order to go for short surveys or for questionnaires, so this scale is suitable. Next one is implemented to gain insight for multiple queries. So you will get the answer for multiple queries in one question itself. So GUTTMAN scale include multiple statements for the respondent. So it's just like a statement where the answer should be in terms of yes or no. Answer which occupies a short space while conducting an online survey. So here all the questions will be in terms of sentence, and depending upon the order, so here the respondent is going to answer. Next one is extremely intuitive. So let us see what is this. Guttman scale is more intuitive for users. The way in which the answers are given in the scale will contribute for more usefulness to the users. So this will help the users also, because depending upon their taste and preference, they are going to tick the answers. So let us see an example here. Before that, we shall see the fourth advantage. Produces data in a ranked manner. So I have already told you. So if you go through the example, then only you can understand all the advantages. So here all the sentence will be in a ranked manner itself. The statement represented in this scale have their degree of importance and values are associated according to the degree. According to the weightage, they are going to arrange the sentence. Therefore, the results of the scale are in terms of marks. So, the results can be measured in terms of marks. Now, go through the example here. On a Guttman scale, items are arranged in an order. So, I have already told you the each and every sentence will be arranged in terms of order, so that an individual who agrees with a particular item, who agrees with a particular item which is arranged in the order, also agrees the items of lower rank order also. So, for example here, for instance, a series of items should be. Now, the first question was, that is the first sentence, I am willing to be near ice cream. So, this is the first sentence. Next one is, I am willing to smell ice cream. Now, stage by stage, they are going to arrange the sentence. Now, in first sentence, he wants to be near ice cream. Next, second sentence, he wants to smell the ice cream. Next, third sentence, he wants to eat the ice cream. Next, fourth sentence, I am willing to recommend ice cream to my friends. Or fourth sentence, first he ate the ice cream. Next, after eating, he wants to recommend to his friends also. I am willing to purchase ice cream to all my parties. Now, what do you mean by Guttman scale? Here, all the sentence will be arranged in a particular order. Okay. Now, suppose I am not interested to recommend to my friends. Okay. So, my answer will be third one. Okay. Suppose I am not going to recommend to my friends. My answer is third one. In the sense, the answer is not only third one, above that also will be my answer. Okay. So, wherever the respondent ticks the answer, above that will also be answer. In the sense, I am willing to go near ice cream, I want to eat, that is I am willing to go near ice cream, I want to smell the ice cream, at the same time I want to eat the ice cream. But I don't want to recommend to my friends, I don't want to purchase for all my parties. So, this will be the Guttman scale. Hope you are understanding. Now, suppose if my answer is 2, okay. So, here answer is 2. So, the second sentence I agreed, and at the same time I have agreed for the first sentence also. Okay. So, above all. So, wherever I tick above that also, it means that I have agreed. Now, I am willing to smell the ice cream. Okay. And I have gone near the ice cream and I am willing to smell the ice cream. But I don't want to eat. I don't want to recommend to my friends. I don't want to purchase to my parties. Suppose I have answered the fifth one. So, what does it mean? Now, all the thing I am agreeing. Okay. So, I went near ice cream. I smell the ice cream. I want to eat the ice cream. At the same time, I want to recommend my friends also. At the same time, I want to take the ice cream for all my parties. That is, I want to purchase ice cream for all my parties. So, this is how the Guttman scale or the questions in Guttman scale will be arranged. Hope you are clear with the example. So, if you see the example, you can clearly understand. Here, agreement with any one statement implies that the respondent have agreed to the lower items also. So, if I have selected 4, it means that I have selected all 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. In the same way, if I selected 5, in the sense I have agreed for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So, for instance, of the respondent say S to statement number 3. So, suppose he has told S for statement number 3, it implies that he has accepted 1, 2 and dislike 4 and 5. So, If he has selected the option 3, it means that he likes 2 also, he likes 1 also. But he disagrees for 4 and 5. So this is about this GUTTMAN scale. So let us see about next scale, that is Likert scale. So we have already discussed many of the concepts relating to Likert scale. So other methods of measurement of consumer behavior includes the following. So we have learnt about the questionnaire, correct? So here a set of questions will be given by the researcher to the respondents, and the respondents have to fill that. Next, interviews. So it may be personal interview, mail interview or telephone interview, where the researcher is going to ask the question with the respondents directly. So that is known as interview. Next, survey. So survey means what? Here, in order to collect the information, they can go to the respondent and collect the information, that is survey. Next, reports. So already reports may be there from which the respondents can collect the information. Next, observations. So through observations also, that is the researcher has to be or should be a keen observer, where the data or information can be collected through observation. So these all concepts I have already discussed in a previous session, which comes under Likert scale, where the options will be agree, disagree, strongly disagree. So such type of questions will be comes under Likert scale. So my dear students, hope you have understood the whole session. See you all in my next session with a new topic, that is with a new unit. Till then, take care. Thank you.